Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you. You're on a new location today, a bonus for all of our video viewers. Where are you calling in from?
Just moving to a new space in the house, trying to set this one up. So right now it kind of looks bare. You can maybe see stuff. Jeremy, you thought it was a green screen. This is real. I'm in a real space.
It looks like a fake white background, but it's actually a real white background.
It's a real background. It might sound echoey. I feel like it's really echoey in here right now. But yeah, it's a new space. So hopefully it'll be all set up by, maybe by the time you're back from the Olympics.
Oh, that's end of summer football season. I was going to say, you have a new gambling lair for you to go into and separate from your wife and kid and just do the dirty work of figuring out your bets every week. Now you have a private space to do it in. And so
it'll be nice. Yeah. And I did message our mutual friend. We are entering the Survivor contest in Circa this year. So we're not going to, he doesn't want to do the Pick'em contest. He wants to do the Circa Survivor contest. So we will be in a Survivor pool. We'll go to Vegas for hopefully less than 12 hours and submit ourselves into the contest this year.
Mike, this is a huge pivot. So you're 5 picks a week. You're out on that? Are you saying that you and mutual friend are not real great at that, so you're changing your mind?
No. We're still in it, but we found that it's easier to win money against normal people than it is against the pros. And the Survivor felt like a nice, hey, if you get in top 100, top 10, whatever it is, you could win a good chunk of change. And people in the Survivor in Vegas seem like they're willing to, you're allowed to have people buy you out or do certain things. So this felt more, I felt like the Survivor's a little less stressful, but the Pick'em, I'm still doing that. We're still doing that every week. We're going to try to win some money on that. But yeah. Oh, I'm still going to do it. I was going to say,
are we changing our podcast content to now be a Survivor-based podcast instead of a 5 games a week podcast?
I don't want to talk Survivor because it feels dumb to pick a winner every week, and it's harder than you think.
But there's so much strategy that goes into every week.
Yeah, I mean, last year we didn't have much strategy, and we almost won in a contest. I just think picking teams that are way too favored sometimes are a little scary, and picking teams that are, big underdogs sometimes cover or sometimes even win. So I don't know. It confuses me to try to do both strategies. So Survivor, I'm kind of more casual with, okay, some people map out every schedule and the strength of schedule, how much travel everybody has. I think we'll be pretty minimal, but maybe we'll lose. So who knows?
Here we are, folks. It's June 3rd, and we are counting down the days until September 7th when the NFL season resumes. September 5th, I think it is, the NFL kickoff. Chiefs-Ravens, we saw that matchup. That's a great matchup to start with. That'll be the first game we all bet of the new season, and it'll be off the rails ever from there.
Are we getting 18 games this season, or is it next season?
We've been getting 18 games.
No. I thought we were getting 7. Well, 18. There's 18 weeks, 18 right? But not 18, there's 17 games.
Oh, they didn't extend it this year. No, They changed the kickoff rule. That's our big note. Where kickers like Harrison Butker, not because he said some things that might be inappropriate to some, he's getting fired because they want a faster guy to do the kickoffs to go down and tackle people. The kickoff thing is completely new. We don't know exactly how it's going to go. We're not watching these other leagues where it's happening. We're just going to be surprised in the preseason when it happens.
Supposedly, it takes a lot more skill to do it, so we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be that exciting at all, so who knows? We'll see.
It's going to be better than it is right now. Mike, it's been a few weeks since we've had a pod. We took Memorial Day off, so I wanted to start with maybe one of the best sports performances we saw in the last couple of weeks. 34 count felony for Donald Trump, 34-0. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of thoughts about it. It's weird because I'm not big into the political game. I'm not big into this at all, but I do find it crazy that he got convicted for hush money for a porn star, which seems crazy. If it was international documents and CIA government stuff, I think I would have liked it a little more, but this is to me felt a little ridiculous. And now it's I see all these fun t-shirts. I bought one for my dad. It's his mug shot and his president on the shirt. I thought it was funny. I don't really know.
Is that like Scotty Scheffler? Maybe your dad will get to high five Trump wearing the mug shot shirt, just like Scotty Scheffler was high fiving people on the course. That would be amazing.
Do you think this is the best press he ever got for this? When he walked into the UFC fight, the crowd erupted for him in there. I think this is the best press he's ever gotten.
UFC might be his crowd. I don't think all sporting events they would erupt quite the same way. I'm thinking.
I know, but it just seems like this all of a sudden made him the favorite in the whole presidential election right now, right?
I saw he is a favorite. Listen, I didn't bring this up to talk politics. I brought it up because we work in sports. We know numbers and data, and 34-0 is amazing in anything. If you made 34 free throws in a row, that's amazing. If you hit 34 base hits in a row, that's amazing. The man got convicted on all 34 counts, and to me, that's the most amazing. It wasn't a few here, a few there ratio. It was 34-0, so good for him. Another polarizing athlete. Let's go to a real athlete, Caitlin Clark.
Let's do it.
She's being victimized in the WNBA. What is going on? She's been bullied. She's catching strays. The WNBA doesn't like her. Today, Pat McAfee was defending her, but then called her a white bitch and had to apologize for that. What is going on with Caitlin Clark right now?
Do you think, like, I saw that, I thought, okay, it feels like a little bit of jealousy from everybody. That I don't know, that one girl that knocked her off her feet after one of the plays. It just feels like there's so much now coverage on the WNBA. And I don't know if you've watched some of these games. And I know one of our friends sent a highlight of some of the games, but the games aren't great to like watch. But I know the attendance has been more than ever because of Caitlin Clark. I think what she's doing to the sport is great, but it's also like all these girls are like, I'm fucking here. I've been playing this for the last 5-10 years. I need some press too. And I think it's like an easy way, you go take out the big dog and then all of a sudden you get some press and maybe you'll get some, sponsorship deals too for it. So I think I see both sides of it.
But wait, she's bringing press to the league. She's bringing press to all these players who never had the ratings, never had the money, never had the private jets, never had the full attendance, never had the contracts that they might now have. Tiger Woods did this in golf, Mike. And any golfer who's ever made any amount of money in their life, anywhere in the world in the last 20 years, if you don't like Tiger Woods, you are an idiot. You are a fraud. You don't know what's going on with the business model because Tiger Woods jacked up all these purses for all these different guys. He made golf so lucrative around the world. That's what Caitlin Clark is doing to women's basketball. She did it in college. Now she's doing it in the WNBA. These jealous players, Mike, who want to bully her, who want to say you need to earn your keep. You players are somewhat irrelevant before she comes. And I'm not saying that to be rude or anything like that. It's just when we, again, look at the data, the ratings, the attendance, the money, the shoe deals, all these things, Caitlin Clark is elevating all of them. For them to have any jealousy toward her, I think is wrong. I think the thug mentality of it is also wrong. And it creates like a bully atmosphere where race does come into it. Really rubs me the wrong way when she is just trying to elevate the entire sport for all these other women.
Yeah, but you got to think about it too. She's a rookie. She's coming in the league. And I think a lot of players are like, I'm going to show you what it's like to be in the league. And I'm not going to take you, like, even though you're the best in the league or coming in and giving us all this, you're giving us chartered flights for the first time instead of flying.
They're living their best lives because of her.
I know. But I think it's almost like a rite of passage, right? You can't just come in and all of a sudden think you're the hot shot. So I get it, but there's more eyes on it ever. I've never seen so much coverage. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I was trying to watch the one of the hockey games, playoff games. Literally, WNBA was on, and I'm like, where's the game? I thought it was on ESPN, and all of a sudden it just cut puck drop. There was nothing before that. It was like
pregame. It was all WNBA leading up to that. I'm glad you brought that up because I pulled some stats on this. By the way, Caitlin Clark last night in New York, she was like 1 for 11 shooting from 3, so it's working on her. I don't know if that's what the WNBA wants, for her to go 1 for 11. People stop watching. They stop flying their private jets. If that's what they want, they should keep bullying her. Anyway, Mike, this rating nugget I have for you. WNBA versus the NHL. You're not going to like this, but I have to tell you. There was a recent playoff game between the Bruins and the Panthers. Panthers not a big draw. Boston Bruins, they really are. On ESPN, on a Tuesday night, 2.0 million viewers. This might be the game you're talking about. Because at the same time, the Fever and the Sun played. It was Caitlin Clark's first game. It was on ESPN2. 2.1 million viewers. It beat the Bruins-Panthers NHL game on ESPN that night. So the interest is there, even more so than NHL, which has to piss you off.
I think it's interesting. I think there was a company that kind of suppressed NHL for a few years. They had the exclusive rights to them, and it was hidden for many, many years. Hard to find, very, very hard to find a lot of games. Never on national broadcast. At least ESPN now is putting on ABC occasionally. The ABC game the other night, on Sunday night, it was ESPN and ABC. I like that they're out there. Pat McAfee's talking about it. Greeny's talking about it. Like, I would talk more about it if everybody wanted it. And I think it's just like now getting out there. It's now on ESPN, which I think is a spot people go to watch a lot of stuff. And it's on TNT, which I don't know if that's going to last much longer, but I don't know what they're doing over there.
I think they have hockey. I think hockey just stays on TNT. It just stays. When they have nothing else left, it'll be hockey with Wayne Gretzky and Bissonnette only.
But I think it's also like, the way Caitlin Clark came in the league, I think it's just people are now interested. Like, oh, we can get basketball right now, and our teams are, the Indiana Fever and all these random teams. I think it's something that you can jump onto and start a new fan, like have a new fandom for a team. And I think it's great, but I wish hockey was out there more. Not a lot of people talk about it. It's hard to talk about. It's like so many players on the team, so much going on. You don't really see their faces. There's so many games. It's a lot of problems with baseball too. That's the problem I see with baseball. Way too many
baseball
games
players don't wear helmets, and you still they're still not very popular. Their faces.
I know, but they can make a lot of money. NHL doesn't make a lot of money.
Is that true? That the NHL stars, do they not make a lot, or is it only the top 1% that make a lot?
I don't think they make a lot of money. I think it's pretty low. I think it's like a couple million. I don't think there's hundreds and millions of dollars going to players.
And it's quite a workout from what I can tell. Skating around the ice. I've never done it myself, but I think you have. Yeah,
it's not easy. I feel like it's the most physical sport out there because you're constantly hitting each other instead of just stopping like football. I mean, I guess basketball.
Most physical sport out there. NFL.
You got to skate. You got to hit. It's hard. You got to fight. You got to fight too. It's the only sport that you're allowed to fight in. You got to fight.
That's we like that part. What about the Stanley Cup Finals? We have Edmonton, Florida. What a random matchup.
A lot of travel for both teams. It's going to be a lot long travel. We don't know where Edmonton is, but it's somewhere north in Canada and really hard to find on a map. Yeah. I think Panthers are going to win. They were there last year. They're coming in. Oilers are good. McDavid, one of the best players in the league. He should be winning a cup at some point, but I feel like it'd be too soon for him to come in and win. Panthers were there last year. They're ready for it. So I'm putting a lot of money, Panthers, and also going to put a lot of money on the Mavericks too. That's where I'm
Florida,
at.
Hockey capital USA. Let's talk about the Mavericks because our boy, Anthony Edwards, is not our boy anymore because he doesn't have a killer instinct and we moved on, right?
He did look a little defeated in those games. I've been watching, so it's insane how much I've been watching. Dual screens on, watching all the sports. He just didn't look good. And the Mavericks looked good. Luka looked great. It looked great. I mean, I don't know what to say. Anthony Edwards didn't look good. So next season, he's got a next shot. He's just got to build it up. I don't think Michael Jordan was great.
He's only
right
23. Special number 23. Could have been his year, 23 in the 23rd year. I just don't know that he's actually related to MJ based on what I saw against Luka and the Mavericks. I didn't see the killer instinct. I didn't see any of those dunks flying through the air. Did that only happen on TikTok? Because I've never seen it with my own eyes on a screen. And I watched a lot of Anthony Edwards games also. So he stopped flying through the air. He stopped having the killer instinct. He started passing the ball way too much. And he passed to guys who are worse than him. And it hurt them in that series. I know this series has been over for a week and the NBA Finals should have started already. That's a whole nother thing where it doesn't start until days away from now. But I was really rooting for him hard in that series against Luka and the Mavs, and he didn't come through. So I'm kind of selling my stock on Anthony Edwards going into next year.
I wouldn't sell it. I mean, how much? You're not going to watch basketball until what? Playoffs next year?
Well, after Christmas at least, and then it's when do I start between Christmas and April?
Well, we can't do it now on Christmas because we have football on Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
so it's
we have two football.
We have too much, and Netflix you can't.
Games. So now it's January 1st. I've long said MLK Day would be a great day to start your viewing in January. Maybe that's a good time on the calendar.
Yeah, well, shorter seasons. That's what we need. Do you want to talk?
Luka was exciting. Luka's no Anthony Edwards, just to finish on that one. And the Mavs are not a team I was rooting for, but he's also a killer on the floor because he makes so many crazy shots. He makes shots from deep, like Caitlin Clark style at Iowa. And he took over that series. And him and Kyrie, I told you a few weeks ago, it's not sexy to like Kyrie, but he's a great player and he's great in the playoffs. And here he is in the NBA Finals, going back to Boston, by the way, which I think Boston doesn't like him anymore. I think he had an issue leaving Boston. So it'll be interesting to see the boos he gets at the Garden when he comes out there on Thursday night.
It's weird. It's some of the games I've been watching, the Boston series, I didn't really watch. I just feel like some of these games line up a little better with what I was watching, but I feel like there's not a lot of storylines out of Boston. Right now, there's a lot of storylines about Luka and the Mavs. And remember that I sent that video in our thread where Luka was drinking a beer and the president of the organization just came by and grabbed the beer. It's it's not over.
That was Michael Finley, former NBA great. I remember him playing for the Mavs, and so he's not that old even. He should be cooler than that. But I saw that video where he takes the beer and Luka's okay with it. You're right, like an alpha male would. He's beer back.
Got it. Yeah, I got it. I want to talk about, what did I want to talk about? What about the NCAA thing? Everybody getting paid, they got sued, and now the schools are going to be able to pay their players. I feel like this is a mess of what's going on in the NCAA. Why don't they just make this a professional sport at some point? Like, yeah, they're going to be able to pay them now, but every school, it's like, are the better schools only going to get the top tier guys and you're never going to go to like a UCF anymore because you're not going to get paid $2 million? What's going to happen?
Listen, you got paid much less than that to go to UCF, so I think people will still go there. I don't know what happened in NCAA. Did a rule come down? What's the headline?
Yeah,
I thought we're doing NIL.
NCAA,
Is there something else?
They agreed to pay $2.7 billion in damages back to thousands of former college athletes. And now they're going to be implementing in the Power 5 school conferences will be able to pay up to $20 million to its athletes starting in 2025. So now there's going to be some sort of pay to the athletes. So the NIL deal,
and then future pay too. It sounds like
and future pay.
$2 billion is not a small amount of money.
No, so I don't know who's going to get all that money, but I guess former athletes of some of the big schools. But to me, this is like a mess. It's like if the NFL, I don't even know how to describe this. Like, it's a mess that players are getting paid all over the board on different teams playing the same sport. It should be an organization. Just start the whatever college football association, because the NCAA seems like a scam, just ripping everybody off and finally like paying people. It should be a giant organization like the NFL, and everybody has all these things and everybody gets paid a similar stature and you can negotiate your contract, because it's no longer an amateur sport. Everybody's getting paid. I just think it's confusing. It's like, if you want to, you start all these other leagues like the XFL or the UFL or whatever they're calling it these days. College football is what it is. Like, that's what college football is. It is that alternative league, and they're not treating it like it. And I don't know why none of these schools can get on board, or why there's so many different organizations, and why like you're in, I don't know, the ACC and you play people in the West and the North and the South, and not in like your conference, like the, whatever the conferences I can't even think right now. The conferences in the NFL. It's like, you don't play with the NFC East and all. I don't know. It's just a mess. It confuses me so much.
The business of college sports is one of the messier things we talk about on the show, and this is a show about sports scandals, and we cover all the sports scandals, and the NCAA is about as complicated as it gets, and it's almost like they've screwed this up for so long, and then they brought in NIL, which I thought was going to fix it all, but now there's this new way, you're telling me, of being able to pay people in the past and now in the future. It's not college, and it shouldn't be run by the NCAA. So call it something else. Like you said, call it NFL minus or NFL, whatever it is. Your pipeline to the NFL, pipeline to NFL. It's like UCF has a pipeline to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Make this the pipeline to the NFL, and just have it as a minor league NFL and pay them what they're all worth. And then NCAA is not involved, and maybe you call them Clemson, or you called them used to be Clemson, whatever you have to call these schools, so they still have this like prestige to it. I think we like the idea of universities and rooting for a school you went to, so you don't necessarily want to pull that all away. But as these athletes make more money, you're right, it's hard to say you're an NCAA athlete, you're a college student, yet all this money is coming your way too.
Yeah, it's just confusing, and I don't think it's messing up the schools, but I think it's messing up the way college sports is played right now, because it seems like if you're the best, or you get drafted or scouted or whatever they do in college football, but then there's also the portal where you can go get paid a whole bunch of money. If you're the best on a team and not being able to play, you can go jump to another team and be like, oh yeah, Alabama's going to pay me $4 million a year to go play. I'm going to go play over there. But I think it's going to ruin the NFL, because all these players are going to be getting paid so much. And we're going to see it this year with our boy on the Bears. And I don't know how well he's going to perform. But I think it's going to be a mess. And I think like we're going to see it. They got announced they're on Hard Knocks. And I think we're going to see exactly what he is and who he is, because I think he's already seen the money. It's almost like it was always a goal for people to get to the NFL and like get the first paycheck and do all this. Now if you're in college, he's like driving a Lambo in college. I don't like it.
Mike, let's talk about this guy who you won't name, the quarterback of the Bears. You just called him. He's like Voldemort in Harry Potter. Yeah. We can't name him. Caleb Williams should be named. One, because he gets us great clicks. And two, because he's our first Gen Z quarterback. This is not Joe Burrow. This is not CJ Stroud. This is Caleb Williams walking through the door as a Gen Z guy. And they think and act much differently than me and you do. And that's okay, because we are elder millennials at this point. Did you know that? We're on the back.
We're not elder millennials. We got to be the younger side. No.
I don't think we are, because Gen Z's coming down like 27 and below. So like 27 to 35 are all younger millennials.
I'm looking it up right now.
Anyway, you can look it up, but he is our first one. Now they're going to be on Hard Knocks, so all of his strengths and weaknesses will be on display for cameras, which is fascinating. How do you think this is going to go with Mr. Gen Z quarterback on Hard Knocks as a rookie?
I don't think it's going to go well, but millennials are 81 to 96. I feel like I'm towards the middle of it. Yeah,
middle.
We're in the middle. We're fine.
You're older than me.
Yeah, but we're in the middle. Okay, we're in the middle.
What do you think of Mr. Gen Z on Hard Knocks? Is he going to be exposed?
I think he's going to be exposed. I don't know if this was a real clip or something, but I saw something where he's like, "Oh yeah, I was throwing interceptions to make our cornerbacks like feel more confident when they're trying to pick off other quarterbacks." I'm like, really? That's what you're doing? You're just practice.
I
don't know if it's true.
He really thinks about everything.
I don't like it. I think he's going to be a big bust, but this man already has a whole bunch of cash. It feels like it does not matter to players that already made a lot of money. Like, you're coming in and you've already made all this money. It's like, what do I have to prove to myself? It's like, yeah, you want to be a good NFL player, but you kind of already had this like prestige and it might drop off. So I don't know.
So you're saying all this money flooding into college sports, whether it's what the NCAA is doing, what NIL is doing, is going to affect the NFL sooner than later, maybe as soon as this year. With guys are coming in, they already got the bag, and they've never gotten the bag as much as they have before entering the league as they are now. And so you're saying that's going to start to affect the next generation of NFL stars, and we have to stay tuned to that. That could be one of your best Sportstradamuses right there.
Yeah, I think it's going to affect them. I think it's just going to be, imagine kids right now graduating high school, going to college. They're going to UCF, greatest college ever, right? They're going there. They're going to go play football.
Yeah.
And he was a stud athlete in high school. And this man's going to walk into college and start making 500,000, million, all these promo deals. And he's going to be like, I'm not going to the NFL. I'm going to stay in college for another 4 years, 5 years. What? Can't you redshirt and stay there for like 6 years or something?
There's guys that were there during COVID. They're on like year 7 and 8. They just kept giving them year after year. Like, the COVID years never happened.
Yeah. So stay there for 7 years. You're going to be making $1 million a year playing college football, where it feels easier to be better than a lot of bad teams. And you play a lot of bad teams to rack up a lot of points and make yourself feel good. But NFL's a little different. So we'll see. I guess it's almost like the Caitlin Clark thing. Right?
I was going to say, maybe Caitlin Clark is thinking now she wishes she stayed at Iowa, got in the bag from all these places, still got the Nike deal, which is paying her much more than the WNBA, and not be roughed up by these women who are jealous of her success. But that's a different story, or maybe the same story.
I don't know, but I think we'll see. I'm really excited. This is like the first time I've actually been excited to watch Hard Knocks, because I just wanted to see how bad.
You want to see him fail.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I want to see him fail.
Now we have so many Hard Knocks. Are we too much Hard Knocks out there? We have off-season Hard Knocks, we have in-season Hard Knocks, and we have training camp Hard Knocks. It's almost like we don't need all these Hard Knocks.
I think I prefer if it was a Hard Knocks that led into the in-season, like show me Chicago Bears during the preseason,
when
and
they're
then
all
show
happy
me
in the preseason and then depressed at 0-6.
Yeah, I don't want to see like the preseason. It's not that fun. It's like players getting cut every week. Like, it's got to be a little different. In season might be a little more fun. It's very dramatic.
I think teams and the Dolphins will tell you this. The Dolphins were on in-season Hard Knocks last year, which is amazing for me, a Dolphins fan, but I'm not always watching that if it's not my team. The Dolphins also hated it. There were cameras in every meeting room. There were robocams in every individual team meeting. Like, that's a lot of pressure, and the Dolphins did fold down the stretch. Now, you could say they've done that every year of my life, and that's true, so maybe the cameras didn't cause it, but maybe the cameras did have something to do with it too.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of pressure on everybody too, because they know they're being recorded. So it's like, how are you not going to be, you almost have to go out of the building to go get a real conversation with like a coach or a player or something. It's like, we can't talk about this here. We got to go somewhere else.
Speaking of my team, Mike, the Miami Dolphins, they signed Jalen Waddle, but they still haven't signed Tua. We saw Jared Goff get a contract that starts with a 2. This was shocking that his contract is over $200 million for the Lions and Jared Goff.
Jared Goff's contract.
Jared Goff. Did you see this?
Yes.
He got over $200 million. I didn't think it would start with a 2. I thought for sure it would start with the 1. The Dolphins have been needing to pay Tua all offseason. He's on the last year of his deal. We thought it would be done already. We thought it'd be done before the draft. Now they signed Jalen Waddle, so they already gave money to him.
It's a big contract.
Now Tyreek Hill might be paid too. Can you really afford to pay Waddle, Hill, and Tua? What are the Dolphins doing with Tua? Of course, they're better with him than without him. I don't want to pay him a contract that starts with a 2 like Jared Goff got, though.
Do you think you pay Tyreek? I feel like Tyreek's had a lot of off-season issues. I feel like he's got 9 baby mamas, right? I think it's like 4 or 5.
Divorce is not an issue. It's very common in sports.
I just don't know. Somebody's not getting paid over there because I don't know why they paid Waddle first. Is his contract? I guess Tyreek recently came over.
It wasn't
so he
up
had
yet. I think they're all up the same time. But the receivers are the ones getting paid. So I think they want, quarterbacks, obviously. It was just interesting to me. I thought they'd prioritize Tua before the receivers, and they didn't. So it's kind of like making my alarm bells go off in a good way. Like maybe they won't pay Tua all this money, and maybe they shouldn't because he can't play outside of Miami in January.
So you think one more year, they do the contract at the end of the year, and they kind of figure out what they're
maybe
what they
like
have.
one more wait and see year. Let him be a free agent. If he has a great year, sign him. If not, let him go. It's super risky. Maybe you could be okay in Mike McDaniel's offense as a quarterback. We don't know. Maybe anyone can do it, and Tua's just been doing it the last few years.
Who's your backup? Who you got over there?
Mike White. You like Mike White?
Oh yeah, Mike White. Yeah,
Legit.
White Stallion, right?
Yeah.
I don't have much else. I have one other thing, and this was kind of my Sportstradamus prediction, but right now, I predicted non-alcoholic was going to have its moment, and it is having its moment right now. In the non-alcoholic wine and beer market is set to surpass $30 billion by 2025. That's a lot. That's a lot of beer, a lot of non-alcoholic beer.
For a while. And speaking of Gen Z, we see the stats on them. Less drinking. I feel like a Gen Z person, Mike, sometimes. And it's the only way I feel Gen Z when I don't like to drink all the time. I'm not a big drinker. You know this. A mutual friend knows this. And that's a Gen Z quality because they're not drinking as much. They're doing other things. We're all doing other things instead. And that's great. My question is, why does it have to be like disguised as non-alcoholic wine, non-alcoholic beer? Like, isn't like a sparkling water or a soda more appealing than these alcohol type drinks that don't have alcohol in them?
I think the idea is they're de-alcoholized or whatever. They're like, they remove the alcohol from it so it still tastes like beer. Like having like a zero Heineken tastes like a real Heineken, which is great. Non-alcoholic wine, kind of gross, but it is like they remove the alcohol from it so it doesn't taste as good. But yeah, I mean, like a Spindrift is basically like, a non-alcoholic drink.
I prefer a Spindrift. Like, I know I come over to your house and you have non-alcoholic beers. I prefer the Spindrift. I prefer the Lolo Pop or whatever it's called every time. I prefer
Olipop.
These great
Olipop's
tasting
great.
drinks. Lollipop.
Yeah, give you some diarrhea,
Instead
but
of
it's great.
At my Whole Foods down here, I saw the non-alcoholic White Claws, and I paused and I was like, who loves the taste of White Claw so much, but doesn't want the alcohol of it? It's like there's so many other drinks that don't have alcohol that taste good too. Like, why are you going White Claw? But maybe it's a thing, and maybe I can't speak to it. Maybe if you want to blend in at parties or blend in at the bar, it makes more sense, that type of thing, and you don't want to drink.
I'm glad
you got this one right.
I like it. When I play poker, I was drinking non-alcoholic beers. Everybody was mad about it, but
that's how you strategize. Yeah, they get messed up and you don't.
Yeah, I bring all the liquor and beer for them, and I'll just have my little 6-pack of non-alcoholic beer. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I haven't really left the house in 6 weeks now because of the baby, so I don't know what people are doing outside.
So it's like COVID 2.0 for you. You experienced this March 2020. You did it again in May of 2024. Every 4 years, Mike shuts it down.
Do you know what's weird? I just started like messing around with my iPad again, and I was journaling during COVID, and I have the craziest journal entries from COVID. It's like 10 months, still LA still on lockdown. We've been it's like crazy shit. It's like we were inside for 10 months. Like
LA was different. I wasn't here the whole time, but I know LA was different during that.
It's crazy shit. Yeah, that's all I got.
Check out the journals. Yeah, the COVID journals are great. I go back and read mine too. It's like we lived through this and we came out the other side. No wonder we're all messed up now. We went through all this.
Jeremy, also I have a special surprise. There's only going to be a limited amount, but I am printing like super high. So this is a workout shirt I really like. It's like made of like really nice material, like super soft. And I'm like, I just want to wear this all the time. But it has like some ugly logo on the bottom. So I contacted manufacturer. We are making a small run of custom sports hangover t-shirts. No logos anywhere. I'm just going to put one little logo back here. And it is going to be it's like ultra high quality t-shirts. All I want is this t-shirt with not this branding on it. So I found a manufacturer.
But you don't want our branding on it? Can we not put a big sports hangover?
We could put a big sports hangover, but I first wanted to just see like the material. I've been talking to this manufacturer. So
okay.
I'm going to have them. I'm going to get a whole bunch of sizes and we'll sell off the extras that maybe I don't want to wear, but there's going to be a lot. So there's just exclusive on the website. So you can have a few too. They're going to be great.
And it's the exact same shirt you're wearing right now. But
so the blend I like, I know this sounds great. I've had a lot of time on my hands sitting around.
Blend, yeah.
This is a like 46% cotton. The other is a elastane, which is a non-brand name of spandex. So this is like a cotton spandex mix. So it's a little stretchy, nice and tight around the arms, but like super breathable, but not like polyester breathable where you get a little smelly because you don't breathe through it.
Sure.
So I found a manufacturer. It's gonna.
Mike's doing blends, folks. This is what he's doing with late night feedings on the couch. He's doing shirt blends. He's got a new concoction. He used to be making us cocktails, and now it's making us t-shirt wool blends.
I'm just really excited about it. So if it comes out really well, I will make more with like Sports Hangover stuff here, maybe a little sleeker design. It's great. It's really great quality. Oh, now,
That's
not to mention,
a tease for the website.
our website does have great quality t-shirts. Those Bella Canvas Blend t-shirts that we have, those Heather t-shirts, so soft, beautifully soft t-shirts.
They're amazing. I need more. I always need more because I love them and they're so soft. And it's really the only thing I wear in airports. You know, I love to advertise. That's why you said small logo. No, for me, travel, big logo. I want to advertise.
Okay, big logo. Maybe I'll see if they can print a few. With the logo, you want just like maybe right-hand corner logo on a few?
Yeah, left or right. I'm not. Okay. I'm neutral on the corner, but I want
because this brand. I'm not shout out to this brand, but they do have great. It's called Legend.
But you don't like their logo. You said you kind of.
Well, I do, but it's like I wanted a T-shirt so I could wear out to like dinner without like sports branding on it. So just something like hidden up at the top or something.
You mentioned that, and we're going down a rabbit hole here. I've been looking for black tees that don't have like any branding on them at all. And it's like, why does everyone put their little stupid logo? When I saw Mike, I won't even name the brand because I like the brand normally. It was like in the middle side. It's like, who wants a logo right there, like on a tag?
What's the brand?
I couldn't remove it. I don't want to say it because I like this brand.
Okay.
I don't want to bury them. Maybe we'll get sponsorship one day.
Not Fanatics?
But it's just like, it wasn't Fanatics. I would tell you if it was Fanatics. And it wouldn't be here for another few months either.
I know, it takes a really long time. Yeah.
Everything
sales on the website.
Everything does. But anyway, just make simple black shirts. And if no one else is going to do it, we're going to take it into our own hands and do it ourselves because we're problem solvers.
Jeremy,
you mentioned sportshangover.com, Mike. And I would just say it's not just for shirts, which is amazing. You should go there for our merch. We have all kinds of content on there. We have video, we have audio, we have past episodes, we have the new stuff. There's so much going on our website. I'm pretty proud of it right now.
And also subscribe to our YouTube. We're really trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark right now on YouTube. Go there, subscribe.
Me KPIs for the first time in our 15 years. I have key performance indicators to hit this year, and so we need your help on YouTube.
We need
to help us.
I don't know, that 6-week vacation you're taking might hurt us a little bit.
It's not a vacation. It's a hiatus.
All right, well, stay tuned. I will make sure the shirts are coming soon. It's going to be great. We'll put a few up for sale. But yeah, we're just going to start making our own t-shirts here, and we'll sell them.
Great idea. This is a late night project. I expect you to come to the pod every week at this point with late night rumblings and things you're thinking about and ways to fix the world. And this is a great one right here.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm trying to put together this little new studio. So we'll see. And I am getting the studio ready for in person before you leave for your vacation.
For sure.
We are doing an in studio recording in here on this yellow sofa.
To christen the new studio.
Yeah.
A ribbon cutting, maybe. We should do a ribbon cutting.
Yeah, maybe we could throw a little champagne bottle at the ADU
I love
or something.
That. You had a little snip performance at your house recently. We can do another snip with a ribbon cutting at this thing.
All right, good show. See you.